Very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back after a long weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. So now, very good morning, Yogita. Akash Neil, very good morning. Why has the standard cost of actual output being calculated in illustration 3? I'll be discussing illustration number 3, Akash Neil. So, so I just want to ask you guys, have you guys completed your homework? I told you guys to solve the same question twice with the using the concepts. So have you guys solved the question or not? Just give me a second, guys. So have you guys completed the homework? Are you guys thorough with the concepts? What I have discussed in last class? In the last class, we started with material variances, wherein we discussed material cost variance. That is the formula further I have discussed, that is standard quantity into standard price minus actual quantity into actual price. Further I discussed material price variance, wherein standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. Further we discussed material usage variance, standard quantity minus actual quantity into standard price. Material mix variance, standard mix minus actual quantity into standard price, and material yield variance, that is standard quantity minus standard mix into standard price. This is what the formula given in the study material. Further, as I've taught you, material price plus usage is equals to cost. I repeat again, material price variance plus usage variance will be equal to the cost variance, and material mix and yield will be equal to usage. How, why, what's the logic behind it, I have already discussed in last session. So if you guys have any doubt, conceptual query in the last session, you guys can first ask me. Further, I want to know you guys have solved the same question twice or not. Using concepts, any queries relating to the concepts of the last session, you guys can ask me. Waiting for your queries, guys. Very good, Rafika. Very good, Mantanjali. Very good, Ritika. Very good, Madhuri. Very good, Nagarjun. Any conceptual queries relating to material variances? Waiting for your queries, guys. I'll be starting with few questions of study material for better understanding, and then we'll start with the investigation of the labor department. Very good, Chetra. Very good, Shivam. Very good, Yogita. Very good, Ankit. Very good, Sumit. Very good, Ritika. Very good, Tisha. Very good, Aniket. Very good, Rashmin Kumar. So guys, now let's start with the practice now. I'm discussing illustration number 3 of the study material, guys. I request you guys to please open the study material. I'm discussing illustration number 3 of the study material. Admin sir, are there any connectivity issues from our end? Because many student has posted query that the video is lagging or video is paused. I don't think I have any connectivity issues because my screen is appearing perfect. I request you guys to please refresh your connection, Chetra and Pooja. I hope I am audible and visible to all. So let's start, guys, with illustration number 3. The standard cost of a chemical mixture is as follows, wherein 40% material of A at the rate 20 rupees per kg, 60% of material B at the rate rupees 30 per kg. The standard loss is 10% of the input is expected in the production. The cost record for a period showed the following usage, wherein 90 kgs of material A at a cost of 18, 110 kgs of material B at a cost of 34 per kg. The quantity produced was 182 kgs of the good product. Calculate material cost variance, price variance, and usage variance. So guys, let's start. A very simple question, similar to the question I have discussed. The budget is given, wherein 2 types of raw material they are using, A and B. The ratio is 40:60. The total input is 100. Normal loss is 10% of input, so the output is 90. Further, the price is also given, that is 20 and 30. This is what the budget is given. Now let's talk about the actual data. Quantity and price. Very simple. Quantity is given, that is 90 and 110. The total input is 200. 182 is the output. So we'll assume 18 is the normal loss. Now, the price is also given, that is 18 and 34. So the total amount will be 1620 3740. Now this is what the question is given. Now my point, are these two figures comparable? Yes or no? No. Why? Because this data is given for 90 units of output and this data is given for 182 units of output. So we have to prepare revised standard. So when talking about A, 40 for 90 units. So for 182 units, how much? $80.88 at the rate 20. Similarly, for B, 60 for 90. So for 100, how much? Sorry. For 182, how much? 121.33 and 30. This is 3640. So guys, since these two figures are not comparable, so I have prepared revised standard, that is 40 for 90 output. So for 182 output, how much? Sorry, 80.88. 60 for 90, so for 182, how much? 121.33 into 30. This is how I have calculated the total cost, that is 5277.77. So, in short, I repeat again, for manufacturing 182 units, this much cost should be incurred, and for manufacturing 182 units, this much is the cost what is actually incurred. So, if you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can ask me. Very good, Mantanjali. Very good, Hitesh Jain. Good morning, Afreen. So now the table is ready for us. We can easily calculate material cost variance. Now guys, very important, how to present in exams. Very simple guys. Material cost variance. 5, simply write the formula. Standard quantity into standard price minus actual quantity into actual price. Alternatively, we can write 5257.77 minus 5360. Now, how these formulas are prepared, you guys know the things very well. So 5257.77 minus 5360. So 102.23. Adverse. Second one is material price variance. What should be the price for A? Sorry, we have to write the formula also. That is standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. How this formula is prepared, I have already discussed in the last session. So how much should be the price for A? 20. How much it is? 18 into 90. For B also, this should be the price which we should have purchased, but we have purchased it for 34 into 110. So this will be 180 favorable. $440 adverse. This will be net 260 adverse. Similarly, material usage variance. Very simple. Standard quantity minus actual quantity into standard price. So for A and B, 80.88 minus 90 into 20. For B, 121.33 minus 110 into 30. So this is the way you guys have to solve the question. If you guys have any query, you guys can ask me. Yes, it is Nalini. In fact, study material want to explain the same things, but yes, you need some sort of guidance in this chapter for understanding the concepts. Very good, Jayanti. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can ask me. Waiting for your queries, guys. Waiting for your queries on this question. Thank you so much, Mantanjali. I request you guys to please copy the solution. Yes, Mantanjali. Yes, Preeti. Very good, Ritika. Yes, Shweta Jain, you can write the, you can present the solution in the same way in exams also. Kanani Rutvik Kumar, if it is not good for the company, if the actual cost is more than expected cost, it is adverse. And if the actual cost is less than the expected cost, then it is favorable. Shweta Jain, yes, you can present the same solution in exams also. You will get full out of full marks. Good morning, Rajiv Kumar Das. No worries. Very good, Arvind. Okay, now, quick guys. I want material mix and yield variance answers. Very important, guys. Quick. I want the answer of material mix and yield variance. I request you guys to please calculate and post your answers relating to material mix variance and yield variance. Waiting for your answers, guys. Waiting for the answers. You guys have to calculate material mix and yield variance. Himanshu Gupta, 60 divided by, again Himanshu and Mr. I think one more guy, there is query. Mohammad Farad, again you guys are trying to memorize the formula. Don't try to memorize the formula. Again, standard quantity is what? Very simple, guys. That is how much cost, how much quantity was supposed to be used. Very simple. 40 quantity for 90 output. So for 182 output, how much? Why we are calculating standard quantity? Please try to understand, guys. Rather than standard quantity calculate karna hai. Just don't think like that. This standard quantity will be calculated only when the output is different. Let's say my budgeted output is 90 and my actual output is 90. Do we have to calculate the standard quantity? No, because the budgeted quantity itself is the standard quantity. Still, I can see that few of you are trying to memorize the formula. Please understand the logic behind why we are calculating standard quantity. And there is no formula. It's like we are making the things comparable. Thank you so much, Jayanti. Okay, I've got the answer from Akash, Neil, and Pooja. I need to check your answer, guys. Okay, I've got answer from Akash, Neil. Where is 110, Himanshu? Okay, now I got the answer from many of you guys. Let me check the answers. So Arvind was the first one to answer. It is correct, Arvind. Aradhana, very good. Okay, I've got an answer from Pooja PS. Your mixed variance is incorrect, Pooja. Neha Murakka, very good, correct answer. Okay, Ankit Gupta, incorrect answer, my dear. Rafika Memon, incorrect answer. Neha Murarka, correct answer. Kamlesh Chaudhary, correct answer. Tisha, correct answer. Feba Biju Thomas, incorrect answer. Yashashri, very good, correct answer. Jayanti, correct answer. Manthanjali, I'm surprised your answer is incorrect. Ria Jaiswal, very good, correct answer. Incorrect answer, Madhuri. Please check your answer, Madhuri. Kanani Rutvik Kumar, incorrect answer. Material mix variance. Mantanjali, incorrect answer. Himanshu Gupta. Correct answer, Neha. Pooja PS, correct answer. Sneha B, correct answer. Vaishali Agrawal, incorrect answer. Manthanjali, again incorrect answer. Very good, Tisha, your answer is correct. Hitesh Jain, your answer is incorrect. Rama Krishna, correct answer. Shivam Durya, incorrect answer. Janvi, incorrect answer. Pooja, correct answer. Pooja Dayaram, correct answer. Rekha, correct answer. Ankur Singh Patel, incorrect answer. Yes, Rajiv Kumar Das, waiting for your answer, my dear. You told me to calculate mix and yield. I just want your answer, Rajiv Kumar Das. Still, I have got incorrect answer from many of you. You guys are, especially few of you are still not thorough with the concept. Or I think you guys have not revised. Specifically, Himanshu Gupta. Yes, Rafika Memon, your answer is now, it is correct. Nalini C, correct answer. Rashmin Kumar, incorrect answer. Very good, Akash Neel. Incorrect answer, Ritika Verma. Rafika Memon, correct answer. Yes, Rajiv Kumar Das. Put some efforts. Still waiting for your answers. You guys are not thorough with the concepts. Yes, your answer is correct, Rajiv Kumar. Manthanjali, incorrect answer. How come you are getting so vague figures? I mean, I'm surprised. Aitha, Mr. Aitha, your answer is incorrect. Now, guys, very simple, material mix variance and material yield variance. Our actual input is 200. This should be in the ratio of 40:60. As discussed in the last class, my actual input is 200. This should be in the ratio of 40:60. So it means 200 into 40 by 100, that is 80 and 120. This is my standard mix. Standard mix minus actual quantity into standard price. So this is 80 and 120. How come? For A, it is 200 should be in the ratio of 40:60, that is 40 by 100 and 60 by 100. So this will be 80, this will be 120. and the actual ratio was 90:110 into 20 and 30. So this will be 200 adverse, 300 favorable. So this will be 100 favorable. When talking about material yield variance, for manufacturing 182 output, how much input should supposed to be used? 202.21. How much we actually used? 200 only. Into weighted average price, that is 5257.77 divided by 202.21. So you will get 57.6 favorable. Please copy this part. Still, if you guys have any doubts, you guys can ask me. Waiting for your queries, guys. I'm discussing one more question, that is illustration number 4 of the study material. Yes, Shweta Jain, the cost is equals to price and usage variance is equals to mix and yield. Rajiv Kumar Das and Ramakrishna, very important. How much input we should have made to manufacture 182 units? This minus the actual input, that is 200 units. I skipped the figures, now it's already been erased. So how much input was supposed to be used? The total of X and Y minus the actual input into the weighted average price. This is the way you have to calculate yield variance. So guys, let's start with illustration number 4. I'll be discussing yield variance in this question. Don't worry, guys. So ABC Limited produces an article by lending 2 basic raw material. It operates a standard costing system and the following standards have been set for a raw material A and B. $40 and $60 is the ratio. Total will be 100. Normal loss is given in the question, that is 15%. So 15. And the final output will be 85. Further, the standard price is given in the question. That is 4 and 3. Now, during April, the company produced 1700 kgs of finished output. The position of stock and purchase for the month of April is as under, wherein the opening stock is given, closing stock is given, and the raw material purchased is given. Further, it is given that the opening stock of material is valued at standard price. Okay. So calculate material price, usage, yield, and mix. So very simple question, guys. We have to calculate first of all the material consumed. Further, we will use Fifo approach to calculate material price variance. So very simple, guys. When talking about raw material consumed, very simple. 35 is the opening stock. 800 we have purchased. And the closing stock is 5. It means how much raw material consumed for A? Very simple, 830 kgs. So when talking about A and B, we will be using Fifo method for calculating material price variance. We'll first of all calculate the raw material consumed. Opening stock is 35. Purchases made is 800. Minus 5 is the closing stock. It means the raw material consumed is 830. Out of this 830, 35 is from the opening stock. So 35 is from the opening stock. And the remaining, that is 830 minus 35, that is 795, is from the purchases made during the year. When talking about the pricing part, it is given in the question that opening stock is at a standard price, and the standard price is given in the question, that is rupees 4 for 35 units, and for 795 units we have to calculate the price, that is 3400 minus 800. So this is 4.25. So we will calculate the total amount for A. This will be 35 into 4 plus 795 into 4.25. So 3518.75. Similarly, for B, the raw material consumed is 40 plus 1200 minus 50. 40 plus 1200 minus 50. So this will be 1190. Of this 1190, 40 will be from the opening stock. So 40 will be from the opening stock, which is valued at standard price, that is 3. And remaining 1150 will be from the purchase made during the year, that is 3000 divided by 1200. The price is 2.5. So this is how we'll get the total input. That is 830 plus 1190. That is 2020. and the output is given in the question, that is 1700 units, I think 1700 units. We can calculate the total cost also, that is 3518.75 plus 2995, that is 6513.75. So this is the actual data that is given. We have used Fifo approach to calculate the pricing part. So now we'll calculate the standard quantity first. For A, my point, are these two figures comparable? No, because this data is for 85 units of output and this data is for 1700 units of output. So when talking about A, 40 is for 85 units of output. So for 1700 units, how much? Very simple, 40 divided by 85 into 1700, that is 800. Similarly for B, 60 is for 85. So how much for 1700 output? Very simple, 60 divided by 85 into 1700. So this will be 1200. So revised standard this will be 800, 1200, 2000, 1700, 300. The price is 4 and 3. So 3200, 3600, 6800. So we are done with the most of the work, that is preparation of table. Still few students have queried that why I have done this. Very important, guys, here in the opening stock and closing stock details are given. So we have first calculated the raw material consumed, that is how much raw material is consumed. So total 830 units is consumed. Out of 830, 35 will be from the opening stock and 795 will be from the purchases made during the year. Similarly for 1190 also, 40 will be from the opening stock and 1150 will be from the purchases made during the year. So if you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can ask me. When talking about how I got 4.25 and 25, so here it is given in the question that we have purchased 800 kgs and the total amount paid is 3400. So 3400 divided by 800. This is how I got 4.25. And when talking about 2.5, it is 3000 divided by 1200. Rajiv Kumar Das, it is illustration number 4 of study material. I request you, Rajiv Kumar Das, to please check the latest material from ICAI BOS portal. I've got answers from many. They have solved the question in advance. So very good, guys. Now we are done with all the hard work. Now let's calculate the variance. The first variance, material cost variance. Very simple, guys. 6,800 minus 6513.75. 286.25. Favorable. If you now further two parts. Material price variance, that is standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. So very simple. When talking about A and B, we'll make the separate calculation. A, standard price is 4. Actual price is also 4 for 35 units. Similarly, standard price 4 and actual price is 4.25 for how many units? 795 units. So this will be the material price variance for A. So this will be 0 and this will be 198.75. Adverse. So guys, I am just writing this for your explanation that sir, काफी लोगों को confusion आएगा सर ये 35 units का क्यों नहीं calculate किया. Very simple guys, it is 4 minus 4 into 35. So 0 minus 0 into 35 is 0 only. Still I have shown it for your reference. Further for B also 3 minus 3 into 40. So it will be 0 only. And for this 3 minus 2.5 into 1150. So this will be 0 and this will be 575. Favorable. When talking about the usage part, very simple guys. For A, it will be how much quantity was supposed to be used? 800. How much we be used in aggregate? 830. Why I am not bifurcating? Because the standard price is the same for 35 and 795 units. So into 4. Similarly for B, 1200 was supposed to be used and we actually used 1190 into 3. So this will be 120 adverse. This will be 30 favorable. So this will be 90 adverse. So the total of 90 adverse and 376.25 favorable will be 286.25. When talking about mix variance, (2020) is the input. This should be in the ratio of 40:60. 2020 should be in the ratio of 40:60. So this should be 808 and 1212. minus how much it was actually. Very simple. 830 and 1190 into standard price, that is 4 and 3. Everything, some information will be given in the question. Very good, Aniket. Very good, Shivam. Very good, Hitesh Jain. Very good, Akash Neel. Very good, Manthanjali. Very good, Prabhas Jain. So now material yield variance, very simple guys, very important. For 1700 units, how much raw material was supposed to be used? Very simple. For 1700 units of output, how much raw material was supposed to be used? 2000 kgs. But for this output, how much raw material we used? 2020. Into the weighted average price, that is 6800 divided by 2000. So I hope you guys are thorough with the concept of material variance. Still, if you guys have any doubts, you guys can ask me. I'm done with the explanation part. So if you guys have any queries, you guys can please post your queries. Waiting for your queries. Manthanjali, any doubts? Hitesh Jain, Shivam, Prabhas, Akash Neel, Rajiv Kumar Das, Madhuri. Any doubts? Yogita, Vaishali, Janvi, Parampreet Kaur, Nagarjun, Aniket, Shubham Gupta, Rafika. Any doubts? Pooja PS, I'm using the same concept. That is how much the ratio of actual input should be. सीधी और आसान भाषा में हमारा एक्चुअल इनपुट क्या रेशियो में होना चाहिए? 40:60. So this is how I got 808 and 1212. और एक्चुअल रेशियो क्या हुआ? Very simple. That is 830 and 1190. Anyone else having any doubts, queries? Because now I'll be putting up a question in front of you guys. Very good, Manthanjali. No worries. Anyone else having any doubts? As far as mix is concerned, 2020 should be in the ratio of 40:60. So for A, 2020 into 40 by 100. And for B, 2020 into 60 by 100. This is how we will get the mix. Yes, Rashmin Kumar. Admin sir, am I visible to all? Admin sir? Admin sir, are you there? Guys, am I visible to all? Thank you so much, Madhuri. Anyone else? Now there is a question for you guys. So, for manufacturing, 1 unit of product CK two raw material are used, A and B. A 200 kgs and B 300 kgs. The price at which it should be purchased is given, that is, it is 5 and it is 6. Now, during the month of April 2022, 500 units were manufactured. And following raw material was used. Following details are given. A and B, quantity and actual price. One lakh 10,000 kgs of A and 1,45,000 kgs of B. The price is given 4.5 and 6.2. You are required to calculate material cost variance, material usage variance, and material price variance. So waiting for your answers, guys. For manufacturing a unit of product A, of product CK, two raw materials are used, that is A and B. The quantity is given, that is 200 kgs and 300 kgs, and the price is given, that is 5 and 6. During the month of April 2022, 500 units were manufactured and following details are given. That is, the raw material used for A is 1,10,000 kgs and for B it is 1,45,000 kgs. And the actual price is also given, that is 4.5 and 6.2. Yes, Aradhana. So now, waiting for your answers. Let's see who all are able to answer. Now the answer should be, if a particular person is answering MCV, material cost variance, and the total amount, MUV and the total amount. So that's it. I don't want bifurcation of A and B. Just tell me the final answer. 1,10,000 kgs and 1,40,000 kgs. As expected, the question, as expected, I was expecting this question from someone. So Shweta Jain, you try to identify that what it is. I just don't want to confuse anyone. So guys, waiting for your answers. Very simple. I want 3 answers. That is cost, usage, and price. So waiting for your answers, guys. Let's see who answers first. The board is visible to all. Please confirm, guys. Is the board visible to all? Is the board visible to all? Okay, I've got the answer from Arivind. Let me check your answer is correct. Very good, Arivind. Let me check first of all. Arivind, your answer is correct. As far as cost variance, it is correct. Okay, Manthanjali, your cost variance is incorrect. Rekha, your cost variance is correct. Shivam, Swati, and Manthanjali, your answers are incorrect. Pooja PS, you just try to figure out what it is. I've got answer from Jayanti also. Let me check. Jayanti, I think. Okay, Himanshu Gupta, very good. Your answer is correct. Okay, Arvind, your all the answers are correct. So Arvind AS was the first one to answer all the questions. Jayanti RC, your answer is correct. Swati, now your answer is correct. I've got answer from Madhuri Dikhare. Very good, Madhuri. Let me check. Very good, Madhuri. Your answers are correct. Okay, Janvi, incorrect answer. Ashwini Shetty, incorrect answer. Jiten Mojidra, incorrect answer. Neha, incorrect. Neha Murarka, incorrect answer. Ankit Gupta, incorrect answer. Nalini C, very good. Your answers are correct. Mohammad Farad, incorrect answer. Janvi, Miss Janvi Sharma, your cost variance is correct, but price and usage I think are incorrect. I think usage is correct, but I think your price is incorrect. Akash Neel, incorrect answer. Raghavan A, incorrect answer. Kaveri Pagare, incorrect answer. Rekha, I think your usage variance is correct. Incorrect answer. Jiten again. Tanya, incorrect answer. Chetra Heber, very good. I think your answer are correct. Yes, it is correct, Chetra. Riya Jaiswal, incorrect answer. Akash Neel, incorrect answer. Vaishali Agrawal, incorrect answer. Adarsh Mishra, your answers are incorrect. Ankur Singh Patel, your answer. Ankur Singh Patel, correct answer. So Tanishka Agrawal, where are you? Shivam, where are you? Rajiv Kumar Das. Pooja PS, Pooja Dayaram, Vaishali Agrawal, Prabhas Jain, Hitesh Jain, where are you guys? Waiting for your answer, Hitesh. Rekha, your answers are correct. Very good. Sumit, your answers are correct. Preeti Panchal. Yes, Preeti, your answers are correct. Shivani, incorrect answers. Rafika Memon, incorrect answer. Mantanjali, incorrect answer, my dear. Shrinjani Sinha, your answers are incorrect. Hitesh Jain, Prabhas Jain. Still few are not being able to solve the sum. Pooja Dayaram, your answers are incorrect. Sakshi, your answers are correct. Janvi, correct answer. Now, the budgeted data is given for A and B, 200 and 300, and the price is 4 and 6. Can you help me out with what was the actual price? Sorry, standard price in the question. Sorry, 5 and 6 was the actual price. for manufacturing 1 unit. The actual production was 500 units. And the raw material was 1,10,000 kgs for A and 145 kgs for B. And the price is 5 and 6. Sorry, 4.5 and 6.2. So herein, few students ask me, sir, what about the normal loss? So very important, guys, in every question you will not see normal loss. The question can be like that for manufacturing 1 unit, so and so inputs are required. So it doesn't mean that the total input is 500 kgs, so the normal loss is 499 kgs. It's not like that. There may be instances wherein it can be thousands of input to manufacture one output. So you guys have to be very careful. Just check what is the budgeted output and what is the actual output. So here in the budgeted output is 1 unit and the actual output is 500 units. So very simple, guys. We'll prepare the revised standard for 500 units. So 1 unit 200 kgs. 1 unit 200 kgs. So 500 units, how much? Very simple. 1 lakh into 5 lakh. Similarly, 1 unit 300 kgs. So 500 units, how much? 1,50,000 into 6, that is 9 lakh. So the total cost will be 14 lakh. So material cost variance will be 14 lakh minus 13 lakh 94,000. That is 6,000 favorable. I am simply writing the final answer. That is 26,000 favorable for material price variance. And usage is 20,000 adverse. That's it. Yes, Riya Jaiswal, please recheck your answer. So guys, it is not necessary that there will be a normal loss in each and every question. So that was the major motto behind discussing this question. So enough of discussion on material variances. Neha Murarka. So when talking about the budgeted data is given for 1 unit. I repeat again, budgeted data is given for 1 unit and the actual output is 500 units. So for 1 unit, 200 kgs. So for 500 units, 1 lakh kgs. Very simple. No worries, Riya Jaiswal. So anyone having any doubts can ask me, else I'll start with the remaining part of the chapter. That is, we will start with the labor variances now. Those who are not being able to calculate the correct answer, guys, please make a note of it. Please copy this table. Pooja Dayaram, very simple, my dear. Standard quantity 200 is the input. For how much output? For 1 unit of output. So for 500 units, how much? 1 lakh. Similarly, for B also, 300 units for 1 output. So for 500 output, how much? 1,50,000. The question was for the students who think that there will always be a normal loss given in the question. So guys, there can be n number of inputs to manufacture a unit. So don't assume that there will be normal loss in every question. Thank you, Nalini. Thank you so much. I assure you that you will clear the papers, and I really appreciate that at this point you have started with CA once again. I really appreciate your efforts, Nalini, and thank you so much for the compliment. Kanani, if the question is silent, you have to follow the thumb rule. That is, the variances will be calculated using the actual quantity only. Anyone else having any doubts, queries, can ask me. I'm done with the material variances. Still few were not being able to answer. I'm surprised. But anyways, I understand that this was altogether a new thing for you. But guys, I repeat again, try to memorize the concept. Try to memorize. Try to understand what I'm saying. I'm not explaining you anything in the formula way. I'm just explaining you that follow the conceptual approach. Check the output, that how much is the output for the budgeted data and how much is the output for actual data. Rest, all the things will be sorted. Are you guys thorough with the concept? Waiting for your answers, guys. Are you guys thorough with the concept? Because the concept of labor variance is more or less like material. So I want everyone to be thorough with the concepts of material part. Waiting for your queries, giving you last 2 minutes. Thereafter, I will not be addressing any query for material variance. That's okay, Manthanjali. So guys, now let's take a break of 10 minutes and then we'll start with the next concept, that is we have to investigate the labor department, that whether anything is going wrong in the labor department also or not. So we will check it. We'll try to investigate the labor department. So before this, let's take a break of 10 minutes and then we'll start with the labor variances. So Edwin sir, are you there? Welcome back, guys, after a break. So, Sushil Kumar Bank, I'll be addressing your query in the labor variance also, because the calculation of mixed variance is similar in labor variance also. Thank you so much, Preeti Panchal. No worries, Srinjani Sinha. Pooja PS, very important, very important. In case of material, the basis of comparison is output. That is, just check the output, budgeted output and actual output, and accordingly prepare the revised budget. If the budgeted output and actual output is same, no need to calculate revised budget. So guys, we are done with this part. Now let's proceed further with the material variance part. Sorry, labor variances now. Now, in case of labor variance also, the basis of comparison is output. I repeat again, the basis of comparison is now. Let's start with the question directly. I'll be explaining the concept with the help of that question only, as we did in the material part. Let's say the question is given that for manufacturing 1 unit of output, three types of labor are working to manufacture 1 unit of a particular product. Skilled worker, semi-skilled worker, and unskilled worker. The output is 1 unit. Two hours of skilled worker, 3 hours of semi-skilled, and 5 hours of unskilled workers are working. So total 10 hours are required to manufacture 1 unit of a product. When talking about the rate, that is the hourly rate, it is 5, 3, and 2. This is what the budgeted data given in the question, wherein for manufacturing 1 unit of a particular product, 3 types of laborers are working, that is skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled. When talking about the hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, and 5 hours were used respectively. In total, 10 hours we are using to manufacture 1 unit of a particular product. I request you guys to please copy this part, labor. The basis of comparison is output. I'll be erasing this part, guys. So when talking about the actual data, let's say 5,000 units were manufactured. When talking about the hours used, it is 9,000 for skilled hours, 17,000 for semi-skilled worker, and 30,000 for unskilled worker. Further, when talking about the rate, let's say the rate is 2.75 and 1.5. So total this will be 63,000, 45,000, and this will be 46,750. This is what it is given in the question. That is, for manufacturing one unit, three types of workforce are working. That is skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled. When talking about skilled, total 2 hours to manufacture one unit, 3 hours to manufacture 3 hours for semi-skilled and 5 hours for unskilled labor. In that, when talking about the actual result, so actually 5,000 units were manufactured and the details of the hours that actually we worked is given. So my point is, the first question is, are these two figures comparable? Yes or no? I just want a simple answer. Are these two figures comparable? Yes or no? And further, if not comparable, then how we calculate the revised quantity? Can you guys tell me? Assume that it is the question of material only. Instead of hours, it is quantity and price is given. So my point is, are these two figures comparable? Yes or no? If no, then what will be the revised standard quantity? What will be the revised standard? Can anyone help me out with what will be the revised? Very good, I have got the answers now. Most of you guys are thorough with the concept. So can you help me out with what will be the revised quantity? What will be the revised quantity for skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled? Just think that it is a labor, it's not a labor variance, it's just a material variance. Can you help me out? What will be the standard quantity or revised standard quantity? Just similar to what we have discussed previously, that is the material variance. Assume that it is the question of material only. Now, how you calculate revised standard quantity in material? You have to calculate it in a similar way. Can you help me out? Yes, very true. Very good, guys. I've got an answer from most of you. Madhuri, Rekha, Shivani. Very good, guys. So 1 unit, 2 hours of skilled. 1 unit, 1 unit बनाने में 2 घंटे लगते हैं. तो 5,000 units बनाने में कितने लगेंगे? 10,000 hours. So herein 10,000 hours. Again 1 unit, 3 hours. So 5,000 units, 15,000 hours. Again 1 unit, 5 hours. So 5,000 units, 25,000 hours. So total 50,000 hours. The rate will be 5, 3 and 2. So this will be 50,000, this will be 45,000 and this will be 50,000. I hope this part is clear to all. Most of you were able to answer. Very good, guys. Very good to everyone. Now see, I hope you guys are thorough with the concept of material. So you have to apply the similar concepts here. If it is a material variance, if it is a material cost variance, how much will be the material cost variance? Can you guys help me out with it? What will be? Suppose assume that this question is of material only. So what will be the material cost variance? Can you help me out with it? It is similar to material. Let's say if this information is given and the question is asking you to calculate material cost variance, assuming these are not ours and it is simply quantity and price. Can you help me out? What will be the material cost variance if it is the question of material then? Waiting for your answers, guys. I repeat again, assuming it's not of labor, it's of material, that is quantity and price is given. We have calculated the revised quantity, the revised standard for material for 5,000 units. Can you help me out? If it is a material variance question, what will be the material cost variance? Okay, very good. I've got answer from everyone and everybody's answer is correct. I've got answer from approx 20 to 25, 20 people and their answers are correct. It is adverse, not favorable, my dear. I think, yes. Ankur Singh Patel, it is adverse. Feba Biju Thomas, it is adverse. So very simple, guys. Just like material cost variance, we will calculate labor cost variance. Very simple. How much cost was supposed to be incurred for 5,000 units? How much cost was supposed to be incurred for 5,000 units? Very simple. 1,45,000 was supposed to be incurred. And how much we actually spent to manufacture these 5,000 units? 154,750. How much extra? 9,750 extra we spent. So this is adverse. So this is what we call as labor cost variance. Very good, everybody. Alternatively, the same way, that is 10,000 into 5, that is for skilled labor, the amount the paid should be 50,000, but how much we actually paid? 9,000 into 7. Similarly, for semi-skilled, 15,000 into 3, that we were supposed to pay, but we are paying 17,000 into 2.75. Similarly, for the unskilled labor, 25,000 into 2 minus 30,000 into 1.5. So the same concept we are using. So just like material, in the similar way, we will calculate the labor cost variance. Very good, guys. I've got an answer from Kushia Sahu. I think he has calculated Kushia Sahu. So I think you have calculated the price variance also. Very good, guys. Okay. I've got an answer from Isha Jaiswal. She has calculated the rate variance also. So guys, just like material cost variance, in the labor cost variance also, we will do the same calculation for calculating labor cost variance. Now, very important, guys, here it was material price variance. But in case of labor, it is rate. So here it will be labor rate variance. Again, the same concept. How much price was supposed to be paid, how much we actually paid into the hours, actual hours. So when talking about rate variance, very simple guys, how much rate we were supposed to pay, 5 minus 7 into the hours we actually paid, that is 9,000 hours. So this is 18,000 adverse. Similarly, 3 minus 2.75 into 17,000. This will be 4250 favorable. Similarly, 2 minus 1.5 into 30,000. This will be 15,000 favorable. Again, the concepts are, I repeat again, the concepts are similar to what we have discussed in material. In material, it was price. In labor, it is rate. The price that is we are supposed to pay, that is 5 minus 7 into 9,000, 3 minus 2.75 into 17,000, and 2 minus 1.5 into 30,000. So this is the way we will calculate the labor rate variance. Now, here it was material usage variance, but there is no labor usage variance. In material, we can say this much material we were supposed to use and this much material we actually use. So in material, it was usage. In labor, it is time. This much time we should have worked and this much time we actually work. So we call it as labor time or efficiency variance. Again, the same way what we did in material, how much quantity that was supposed to be used, very simple, 10,000. How much we actually use, 9,000 into 5. So the similar approach, how much hours we were supposed to work, 10,000. How much we actually worked, we worked 9,000 only into the standard rate. So again, the same is, the concept is same as we discussed in material usage variance. It was usage of material. Herein, we are paying for the times. So it is labor time, or we call it as efficiency variance. Very good, guys. Shivani, very good. Neha Murarka, very good. Most of you were able to solve. Very good, Madhuri. Shraddha Chogle, please check. It is 11,000, not 10,500. Now again, two parts. In material, it was mixed variance. In labor also, it is mixed variance only. Sushil Kumar Bank, please make a note of it. Very important. I'm discussing labor mixed variance. It is similar to material mixed variance. So labor mixed variance. So very simple, guys. When talking about the actual hours, it is 56,000. We should work in ratio of 2:3:5. The actual hours, 56,000, should be in the ratio of 2:3:5. That is 2:3:5. We have to distribute 56,000. So 56,000 into 2 by 10. This will be 11,200 16,800 28,000 minus. So this should be the actual mix of the workforce, wherein the skilled should have worked for 11,200 hours, the semi-skilled should have worked for 16,800 hours, and for the unskilled it should have worked for 28,000 hours. But when they're talking about the actual mix, it was 9,000, 17,000 and 30,000 into the actual rate, that is standard rate 5, 3 and 2. I repeat again, 56,000 into 2 by 10, 56,000 into 3 by 10, 56,000 into 5 by 10. This is how I've got the mix. So the calculation of labor mix variance again will be similar to material mix variance only. That is the standard mix minus actual hours into standard rate. Very good, guys. Very good, Khushia Sahu. Very good, Neha Murarka. Very good, Shivani. Very good, Tisha. Very good, Mohammad Farad. Very good, Mantanjali. Very good, Yashashvi. I need to check Yashashvi. Now, last, material yield. So we call it as labor yield. Alternatively, we can say, if this is efficiency, then this will be sub-efficiency. And if we are writing time, then we will use it as efficiency or sub-efficiency variance. Again, the concept is same what we have discussed in material. For 5,000 units of output, how much input was supposed to be used? Very simple. For 5,000 units, how much input was supposed to be used? 50,000 hours. How much we actually worked? I repeat again, for 5,000 units, how much hours we were supposed to work? 50,000 hours. How much hours we actually worked? 56,000 hours. How much hours extra we worked? 6,000 hours. Into the same weighted average rate, 1,45,000 divided by my budgeted input. So I hope you guys are thorough with the concept of labor. The concepts are more or less similar to what we have discussed in material. The names are changed. That's it. Rest all, everything is same. Very good to all of you. Madhuri, very good. Mantanjali, very good. Ritika, very good. Neha Murarka, very good. Ankit Gupta, Tisha, Shivani, Khushya, everybody very good. Any doubts, Nalini? Any doubts, Rajiv Kumar Das? Any doubts, Shivam? Any doubts, Anu Agrawal? Very good, Feba, Biju Thomas. I request you guys to please copy the solution further. Sushil Kumar Bug, are you thorough with what I have discussed in labor mix variance? Do you have any doubts in labor mix variance? You can ask me, Sushil Kumar. In the meanwhile, I request you guys to please copy. I'll be covering this part, Tisha. I'll be covering this part, Rekha. Don't worry. No worries, Rajiv Kumar. Rekha and Tisha, I'll be discussing this part separately. Anyone else having any doubts? Yes, the total of mix and yield will be equal to time. Time plus rate will be equal to cost. The same approach what we have used in material. Very good, Rashmin Kumar. Very good morning, Harsh. Yes, Nalini, don't worry. It is equal, Sneha, Anand. Please recheck your calculation. Yes, Sushil Kumar, you have to practice a lot. So guys, now, very important, if in a particular question, if no information is given as regards idle hours, the question of labor and material is altogether the same. It's only the difference in the name, that's it. Rest of the calculation is similar to what we have discussed in material. But now the question is, what if in case idle hours are given in the question? So very important part, guys. What if in case if idle hours are given in the question? Let's say 3 workers are working skilled. semi-skilled and unskilled. Idle hours are given in the question. Let's say 500, 400 and 100. So idle hours are given in the question. Total is 1000 idle hours. So very important, guys, the hours paid, actual hours paid and actual hours worked will be different because the company has to pay for idle hours, but herein when calculating the variance we have to calculate the idle time variance separately. So when talking about this will be actual hours paid. This will be actual hours paid and this will be actual hours worked. So how much will be actual hours worked? We are paying the labor for 9,000 hours. We are paying the labor for 9,000 hours, but they have worked for how many hours? Only 8,500 hours. That is 9,000 minus 500. Similarly, when talking about the actual hours paid for semi-skilled worker, it is 17,000. However, 400 is idle time. So the hours actually worked is 16,600 only. And similarly, in this case, it will be 29,900. So 56,000 is the total hours we are paying for. Of this, 1,000 is idle time. So hours actually worked is 55,000 only. Do you guys have any doubts in this calculation? I repeat again, what if in case if idle hours are given in the question? So let's say in this question, idle hours is given, that is for skilled it is 500 hours, for semi-skilled it is 400 hours, and for unskilled it is 100 hours. So it means the actual hour worked will be how much? 8,500 hours, 16,600 and 29,900. So the total hours actually worked is 55,000. Now, let's recalculate all the variances. So when talking about labor cost variance, okay, idle hours means that the work, the active production, the active work is interrupted and still the company has to pay for this. We can say power loss during the working hours or machine breakdown during the working hours. But since the company has to pay the company has to pay to the workers for the same. So this is what we call as idle hours. It is Sneha Anand. I request you to please recheck your calculation. So now, what if in case idle hours is given in the question? What will be the change in the calculation? So first point, I repeat again, Mantanjali, idle hours may be due to machine breakdown or power loss during the working hours. So for this, the labor sits idle, but the company has to pay for the same. So this is idle hours. Now, very important, guys, what will be the change in the calculation? Very simple, guys. Material cost variance will be same. There will be no change in material cost variance. How much was the cost that was supposed to be incurred? 1,45,000. How much we actually incurred? 154,750. So the total cost variance will be how much? 9,750. As far as labor cost variance is concerned, the calculation will be the same and the labor cost variance will remain unchanged. That is 9,750. Again, the calculation of labor rate variance. This calculation also will remain same only. Very simple. That is 5 minus 7 into 9,000 3 minus 2.75 into 17,000 and 2 minus 1.5 into 30,000. The calculation will be the same. I repeat again, there will be no change in material labor cost variance, no change in labor rate variance. So there will be no change. Sushil Kumar Bang, please view the lecture in HD mode or refresh your internet connection. I think the board is visible to all. Now, again, when talking about labor time variance, very important guys, the calculation will be the same. No change in calculation of labor time variance also. So, the labor time variance will be calculated in the similar way, that is 10,000 minus 9,000 into 5. So this will be 5,000 favorable. 15,000 minus 17,000 into 3. So 6,000 adverse. 30,000, sorry. So very important, till the calculation of labor time variance, I think it is visible to all. Sushil Kumar, I request you to please refresh your internet connection. So my point is very simple, guys. Why I have solved this question once again, that I don't want any sort of confusion in your mind. If the idle hours are given, just make this calculation and keep it aside. As far as the labor cost variance, there will be no change. Labor rate variance, there will be no change. Labor time variance also no change. Now, instead of two variants, that is labor mix and yield, we'll be calculating three variances. The first one is the labor idle time variance. That is the labor hours, that is 500 hours, 400 hours, 100 hours into the standard rate, that is 5, 3 and 2. So this will be 2,500 adverse. Idle time is a loss to the company, so it will always be adverse. So this will be 1,200 adverse and this will be 200 adverse. So this is 3,900 adverse. Now guys, very important. When talking about the difference between the budget and the actual, where we can say that work was supposed to be completed in 50,000 hours, but the work was actually completed in 56,000 hours. I repeat again, the work was supposed to be completed in 50,000 hours and the work was actually completed in 56,000 hours. It means there was a difference of 6,000. Of that 6,000, 1,000 difference is already eliminated in the form of labor hour. Now we will be left out with the difference of 5,000 only. I repeat again, guys. The work was supposed to be completed in 50,000 hours, but we actually paid for 56,000 hours. So there is a difference of 6,000 hours. Of this 6,000 hours, 1,000 hours, that is 500 plus 400 plus 100. 1,000 hours difference is already eliminated. So now we are left out with the difference of how many hours? Only 5,000 hours. So from now and onwards, these figures will come into picture. These actual hours worked will come into picture. These figures are of no use. That is, the actual hour paid figures are of no use. From here on, the actual hours worked will come into picture. Let's take this example also. In semi-skilled hours, the work that was supposed to be done is for 15,000 hours. We worked for 17,000 hours. So there is a difference of 2,000 hours. Of this 2,000 hours, 400 hours difference is already eliminated. So we are left out with the difference of 1,600 hours only. Ankur Singh Patel, this is a loss to the company. That's why idle hours are adverse. So very important, guys, for the remaining two variances, actual hour worked will be used because the difference of this idle time is already kept aside and we have already considered it in idle time variance. So when talking about mixed variance, 55,000 hours should be in the ratio of 2:3:5. This 5,000 hours, 55,000 hours instead of 56,000, now we'll be taking 55,000 hours. Why I have already discussed. So 55,000 hours should be in the ratio of 2:3:5. So labor mixed variance, 55,000 into 2 by 10. So this will be 11,000, 16,500. This will be 27,500. Minus again these figures, that is 8,500, 16,600 and 29,900. Into the rate 5, 3 and 2. If you guys have any doubts in labor mix variance, you guys can ask me. Waiting for your queries, guys. In the meanwhile, I'll calculate the final answer. Okay, there is a query from Neha. Sir, why did we take actual hours worked in case of rate calculation? Very important. When talking about the rate, when talking about the rate part, we will consider the hours which we are actually paying for rather than the hours we are actually working for. Because at the end of the day, the rate calculation is always made on hours paid rather than hours worked. Laborers are paid for the hours paid rather than hours worked, because for idle times also, for idle hours also, we need to pay it to the labor workforce. Anyone having any doubts in labor mix variance? Very simple, guys. There is a difference of 50 to 56,000, that is 6,000 hours. Of this, 1,000 hours difference is already eliminated, already considered in labor idle time variance. So we are left out with the difference of 5,000 hours. So from here, henceforth, these figures will come into picture. That is the actual hours worked. So when talking about labor efficiency or sub-efficiency, again, the work was supposed to be completed in 50,000 hours. These 5,000 units should be completed in 50,000 hours. But we worked for 55,000 hours. Again, 1,000 idle time is already eliminated here. So we have worked for 55,000 hours. So 5,000 hours is due to inefficiency into weighted average rate 145 divided by 50,000. $14,500 adverse. So guys, very important, if idle hours are given in the question, two figures, there will be a change in calculation in two figures, that is labor mix and yield. Labor mix and yield will be calculated on the basis of hours worked rather than hours paid, because the difference between the hours paid and hours worked, that is the idle time, we have considered it separately as idle time variance. So if you guys have any doubts, you guys can ask me, waiting for your queries. As far as the formula is concerned, again, we can easily write the formulas, that is standard hour into standard rate minus actual hour into actual rate. Similarly, in rate variance, the same formula that is we use for price variance, that is standard rate minus actual rate into actual hours. Here in the actual hours paid. So standard rate minus actual rate into actual hours paid. When talking about labor time variance, standard hours minus actual hour paid into standard rate. So standard hours minus actual hour paid into standard rate. Idle time variance, idle hours into standard rate. Labor mix, standard mix minus actual hour worked into standard rate. Shweta Jain, please check. It is 14,500 adverse, 3,900 adverse, minus 7,400 favorable. So it is 11,000 adverse. Shweta Jain, please recheck your calculation. As I said, rate plus time will be equal to cost, idle, mix and yield will be equal to time. That is why the reason I have presented in a chart form rather than simply in the form of statement. So as in material also, price plus usage is equals to cost. So herein also rate plus time is equals to cost, and idle time plus mix plus yield is equals to labor time variance. Thank you so much, Aradhana. Thank you so much for the compliment. Sir, labor mix variance, revise again how to calculate 11,000 hours. Mohammad Farad, when talking about the calculation of 11,000 hours, it is 55,000 into 2 by 10. Standard mix it is 55,000, should be in the ratio of 2:3:5. So 55,000 should be in the ratio of 2:3:5. So it's a simple mathematics, 55,000 into 2 by 10, 55,000 into 3 by 10, and 55,000 into 5 by 10. Thank you so much, Siddhappa. Anyone else having any doubts, queries, confusion in the labor variance? Waiting for your queries, guys. Shweta Jain, please check your calculation. Waiting for your query, guys. Madhuri, Tanishka, Neha, Sushil Kumar. Pooja, PS. Very simple, Pooja. There is a difference of 6,000. Of this 1,000 is the there is a difference of 50 to 56, 6,000 hours. Of this 6,000 hours, 1,000 is due to idle time and 5,000 is due to inefficiency. So that's why, since 1,000 is already eliminated here, so it means we are left out with a difference of 50 and 55. So that's why these figures comes into picture. Thank you so much. Waiting for your queries, guys. Those who want to copy this explanation can please copy. Same here, Neha Murarka. Thank you so much. Even I don't feel that it's a class of 2.5 hours. You guys are actively participating in the session. So thank you so much. And thank you so much, Neha, for the compliment. Shweta Jain, hopefully your doubt is resolved. Rajiv Kumar Das, Madhuri, Tanishka, Harsh, Anu Agrawal, Nalini C, Sneha Anand, Mohammad Farad, Rashmin Kumar, Shivam Durya, Ritika Verma, Mr. K, I think Prakash. Sir, any exam related question? So Prakash, the same question was asked in CA Inter as well as CA Final. So I have discussed a question wherein all the points are covered. So this is a question, it was asked up to 3, it is asked 3 to 4 times in Inter and Final. It is adverse because the work was supposed to be completed in 50,000 hours, but we completed in 55,000 hours. It means we worked inefficiently. Very good, Ria. Madhuri Likhare, both the approaches are correct. I don't want to create confusion. So both these approaches are correct. Any of the approach you can use. You can put idle time here also, and you can calculate labor time variance accordingly. Both the approaches are correct, Madhuri. So guys, thank you so much for participating in the session. I have tried my level best to make each and every student understand the concepts in detail. Still, if you guys have any doubts, we'll try to address your queries in the next session. Still, 2 more sessions are we are left out with standard costing. So enough of time we have. We'll try to discuss as many as question as possible. But very important, guys, homework for you guys. The first thing what you have to do is solve all the questions of material variance, whether it is normal basic questions or whether it is relating to missing figure question. Try to solve all the questions by the time we start the next class. So I request you to solve all the question of material variance and labor variance. I repeat again, I am requesting you guys to please solve all the question of study material that is relating to material and labor variance. In the next session, I will put up a question in front of you and I'll wait for your answers that you guys are thorough with the concepts or not. So thank you so much for participating in the session. Thank you so much for writing the answers and thank you so much for everything. So that's it for the day, guys. See you in the next class. See you day after tomorrow. I repeat again, solve each and every question of study material, that is practical and illustration problems of material and labor variance. So whatever the queries you have in relation to labor and material variance, I'll try to address all your queries. So you have to practice a lot to be thorough with the concepts. So come with your complete homework in the next session. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks for your time and patience. Have a great day. God bless you. Yes, sir.